Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to RSF1's F5 division. Coming to you live round number 16, I believe it is. It's the Japanese Grand Prix, a legendary track of Suzuka. We are here tonight for the F5 division of RSF1. I am RSF1 Bundle, stepping in once again for Raikkonen. He was available to do today, but as he did last night's epic F3 race, where we saw a flying Alfa Romeo, courtesy of Quaker Oats, he's taking a rest tonight, and I'm stepping in. I'm joined, like I was last week, by Toxic CW. Good evening to you, Toxic. Well, we may get another flying car tonight. But other than that, obviously, I bet you're expecting some entertaining racing from these guys.
Yeah, I've always expect entertaining racing. The Div 5, it's always good to watch, especially in this circuit. It's tight and it's hard to find a decent overtaking opportunity. And then you've got the tyre wear as well. It's terrible in here, can spice things up quite a lot. Good to see though.
Yes, good to see. I've got the stream up straight away. I've been all fancy today because I've got my laptop up. For some reason my phone isn't fun with Twitch and watching it anymore. It seems to buffer whoever I watch. So I've got my laptop up, and yeah, so it's all like I feel like a YouTuber now. But yes, what should we talk about? Because we are rating, I think, for a couple of drivers. Got 15 at the moment, which is still a good turnout. So first big news, we might as well get this out of the way straight up, and that is Jessie Racer will not be racing here tonight. She got a penalty from the stewards, which means she has a race ban tonight and a qualifying ban for USA. I feel personally, as a neutral, and this is nothing against Scotsman or the Alpha team or anything else like that, so we can, nip that in the bud. As a neutral, because I want championship to go to the end in every tier, it's kind of a shame because Jessie is a championship contender for Scotsman, but as a famous commentator once said, Toxic, anything can happen. So it's really up to Scotsman here to take the advantage tonight.
Yeah, especially on a track like this, it can be really easy to make a mistake, and then there's barely any runoff areas. It's mostly just gravel and that, so you can really affect your race with the slightest little thing. So I'm sure she'll be sitting hoping he doesn't do too well, but we'll soon see.
Yeah, I've had a race ban before, not in RSF1, and it does. You do feel shame as well because obviously anything can happen in races, and rules are rules. If you break them, you gotta face the consequences, regardless of whether you feel it's harsh or not. Rules are rules. She's got to put it to one side, hasn't she? She's got to come back in USA from the back of the grid next week, fighting. And obviously, after seeing the race that she did in Russia last week, I'm sure she will do such. Won't she?
Yeah.
She ain't going to give up, and she shouldn't, because she's mathematically still could catch Scotsman. If Scotsman has a really good race today, say he wins, it's his to lose. But as I said, anything can happen. So yeah, that's the situation, isn't it? She'll come back in USA, won't she?
Yeah. Good to see her back in next week.
We are waiting quite a while, actually. It is now
5 past.
What time is it? 5 past. So we must be waiting for somebody. I don't have the Discord up, so
I don't have access to the one.
No. Good evening, Source. Source in the chat saying hello. How are you both? I'm great. I'm waiting though. I'm getting slightly impatient, Source. Do we know why the wait?
It's been a long week. I've been waiting for this.
Oh, that's good. That's good. It's a good sign that you've been waiting for it. You're in anticipation. Again, we have 15. Are we waiting on someone, Source? Must be the only reason why we're waiting, because we're waiting on McCracken. Because apparently his Xbox is not loading game. If you don't know to hard reset it, that's always the case. Hard reset your Xbox and then you're good to go.
The good thing about Happens will be 16, so one person about, so it'll be a fight for survival.
Yeah, good thing. While we wait, while we're stalling, obviously you must have had the news this morning, Toxic, about in real life, the Bahrain, second Bahrain Grand Prix this weekend. Hamilton will not be there because he tested positive for COVID-19.
Yeah, I heard about that. It was interesting to say the least. Nothing can really happen with the table, but might spice the races up a little bit.
I mean, obviously, the first and foremost thing is we hope for a speedy recovery for Lewis Hamilton,
Yeah.
of course. But what it does do is now opens up for potentially someone new-ish to win and podium as well. But obviously, the first other question is who's going to replace Lewis Hamilton. Now, my thought is I think it's going to be Van Dorn, but there are rumours that it could still be George Russell, promoted to Mercedes. Obviously, they have to prize them away from Williams. That's the only problem with that. There's others in line. There's Hulkenberg, possibly. There's Gutierrez, possibly. There's a couple of others in there. Who do you think will replace? What does your gut say?
I don't know. I think Hulk. I'd like to see him back in the seat.
Is that what your heart says, or is that what your head says?
I don't know. For his head. I've seen quite a lot. It's like the big debates on like Instagram and that. Who will step in?
Now, someone brought up this to me. So, if you look at Mercedes as a brand of results, like they demand results, right?
Yeah.
Would they risk putting in Van Dorn, who hasn't driven an F1 car? He's driven Formula E, but that's very different to F1. When was the last time Van Dorn drove an F1 car?
Yeah, it's a big risk to be taken.
Very big risk. How long? Well, Hulkenberg's driven this season.
Yeah.
And he did great. Did great in Nürburgring, but apparently he's not travelling to Bahrain, so there's that. Gutierrez is the other one possible, but again, how long has he driven? How long ago has he driven an F1 car?
Yeah,
So, in that logic, it should be Russell. But then, as I said, Williams don't want to let go Russell, do they? Especially going to the Bahrain Tri-Oval, which is another exciting thing this weekend coming up. They could get points. And let's face it, no offense to Latifi, I don't think he's getting points. Russell could get points in that Williams, and Williams desperately need it. So they won't let him go, would they?
No, I wouldn't think so. It'll be certainly interesting to see who'll take the spot. But then...
There isn't anybody in F2 that's a Mercedes graduate.
I don't think
there is.
I don't know, they've already up there. Am I waiting no longer?
Oh, we are going. McCracken is not here yet, so we are going without. Maybe he said, go without me or something like that. Or he'll join midway once he gets things working. Hopefully he does.
Hopefully he gets in for Q3 and can have a fighting chance.
Yeah. We can get things underway. It does mean without him, Q1 is practice, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just... If he's set to join, I would try to put in a fast lap, though, just in case he joins at the end and does a sneaky lap.
People in the chat, is the stream all good? Can you hear Toxic all good? No crackling, anything like that? Might as well get it sorted before we start good and proper.
Interesting to see
8
this.
viewers at the moment, but that should bump up.
Interesting to see the strategy tonight.
Yeah, I've said this multiple times, and when we've obviously had less than 16. But this first session Q1, we know as long as you set a lap, you go through. So don't push it, basically, right?
Yeah.
Or do you practice as if it's Q3 or Q2? Do you go full beans?
It's a hard one. I would just take my time, get a lap in. If I didn't feel confident before the race, I would use it as a practice. But it's like what you prefer to do. I mean, I think folk will just take the time, set a lap, and that'll be it. Interesting to see if anybody else does otherwise. You
The
can't.
good thing is I can, with my laptop run. Oh, hello!
Oh,
Raining
yes.
intermediates. Nice.
We love that.
Well, that throws a little bit of curveball into this. Right, guys, listen in the chat. If you are a driver in this Q1 bit, don't drop it, please. Especially now. The good thing about having my laptop on at the same time is I can now see who is watching. So we can see Jamie24, Lincoln. Oh, Shadow Moses has joined. That's a bit too late. Jamie, we got Lincoln Dave, we got Lux, we got Miss Lenity, got the Nightbot. We know the Nightbot. MV Tacticals, Button, Hush, Source, and UK Demon. So welcome to the chat.
So we've got Source coming out. We'll be the first one out.
And apparently it's a dry race. And it's raining for half an hour, so
1 and 2.
half an hour. That's saying to me midway through Q2 might get a dry Q3 possibly. Half an hour.
Yeah, just see if they can make it through without having that incident.
Right. So in terms of, should we talk about the track? Yeah, let's talk about the track first. Suzuka, Japan, and obviously you're yet to race your race around here this week. Obviously you got F4 on Thursday. What's your thoughts ahead? Are you nervous? Are you excited for this track?
Nervous.
Oh,
I don't like the first sector. It's either
oh, you're the same as me.
it's a hit or miss. At one time I'll get it perfect. I'll have the nice flowing effect right through. The next time I'll have I'm struggling to get around it, and I'll muck up one corner, and it's just the carry on from that. The second sector's alright. It's the third sector. I think it's nice, probably the best ones. Once you go on that big straight, it's one of very few overtaking spots, and that's, I think, is through the S's, I believe that's what you call them. Is that
The clown off already. That's Papa Smurf, who is reserving for Jesse tonight. One of the reserves that's just jumped in. He's got to be careful. He's not staying there for too long. He's got to let the drivers go through.
Yeah, he's
Should be okay. Yeah, he's doing a good job. Doing a good job there.
Sauce is coming around in his lap. Looks like he might be getting invalidated straight away.
Oh, straight through turn one. And he's got traffic on the edge of turn one as well. What a great start.
Andy comes to turn one. He's going wide. Keeps it. I like this.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I don't like this track one bit. It's never been kind to me, as often off the circuit there, allowing Andy to slip and slide his way through the S's on his first lap. It's a formidable track, this, I feel. You need to be into a rhythm and into a flow. And
Wait.
as Andy is demonstrating, the rain doesn't really help that, does it? Because it goes from a flowing kind of ish track to a very, very fiddly one. Lap times probably in the 140s now.
Yeah.
Maybe 30s, maybe
I like this
mid to low
way.
30s.
I think it's better weight.
I think it's better.
Yeah, I think it's better weight. I don't know, he can muck up easy, I don't know, it's just preference I suppose. Quite like most tracks wet, to be honest. Standing.
Yeah. Overtaking, what are we saying? Overtaking easy or difficult around here? Because obviously you got turn one, but turn one first corner is pretty difficult to judge if you're overtaking someone. The chicane's not exactly that wide, so
Yeah, the SEs.
What do you think? Easy?
The SEs are a push. You've got to rely on another driver and yourself to be confident side by side. I think it's difficult. It's either got to be a dangerous lunge, a kind of hope, or the back straight, sector 3 or the main straight, and that's you pass. So it could be if you're the faster driver, stuck behind one of the slower ones through sector 2, 1 and 2, then it could be a good getaway for some drivers. So the Mercedes off, nope, just stopped.
Yeah, for the S's.
Look.
Aldino's about to finish his lap, just gone up to the chicane now. I only know a few corners around here, Japan, in terms of my track knowledge. And that is the... I've even forgotten what they're called. Yay, I don't even know. Those two right-handers after the S's. I don't know what they are.
Nope.
I knew what they were Sunday. It's only been 2 days.
2 seconds, I'll Google it. Ah.
Aldino 42.4 first off.
Japan.
Jamie just about to start a lap. Jamie in a Renault? I thought he was in a Ferrari.
No, he's Renault.
Oh, why was he in a Ferrari? Might have joined late last week. He's confusing me. Force manure 40.9 so far. Everyone just gradually getting their eye in on the track, which is good. A few mistakes here and there, but they're doing alright so far.
Only minor mistakes. Check a decent track map.
Good night JH on the chat. I don't understand what you mean about that statement there about 4K graphics. Are you telling me to go to 4K graphics? Because I can't, for a start, or... Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, Ferrari
Rephrase
right.
that.
Terrorists. Oof. Where are we?
Model 44.0. Oh, Tennis disqualified.
Are they?
Is he driving the wrong way?
Oh.
What in the game he was?
Oh, you had to turn around. He spun.
Tennis.
like,
Oh dear.
That's not the start.
I just realised something. Shadow Moses actually joined, and that's bumped up to 16. So now people will have to set a lap. Well, they did until Dennis got disqualified.
Lincoln goes fastest.
Nice. Jamie 41.8. Gradually get their eye in. Not super quick lap times at the moment, but that's the way to go. Just gradually.
Scotsman's coming across.
I mean, it either a really good looking game or this is real.
It's
not real.
5 Scotsman just hit.
Oh, there we go. I was going to say. He's gone straight up there. 38.5. Championship leader coming into this.
Somebody else across the line. Is that Daniel coming round?
Yeah, just on him now.
I think he's just taking his time round. Yep, nice and easy.
Pretty decent lap. 40.7.
You don't have to push that hard anymore, considering there's only 15 drivers, so...
No.
Set a nice calm lap, head back to the pit.
Even if Q1 was meaningful, as in, you know, competitive,
Yeah.
you still got to go round lap after lap. I'd always recommend fill the tank up a few laps in Q1, so you can just gradually get into the conditions.
Yeah, it's also in case you invalidate, so you can keep going a little bit longer. Especially in that circumstance, just get a couple laps round, a wee bit of practice maybe.
What else we got in the chat? We got Jamie talking, but also racing at the same time. So is Hipperman, who I know is Aldino. Still that annoyance of why are you watching the stream as you're driving, but hey ho. As Source gets a little bit of a traction out the hairpin. Got Mr. Sir Toda Wolf. I put my that was silly. I put my hand to salute Sir Toda Wolf, but obviously no one can see that. I don't even know why I did that. Anyway, good evening to Sir Toda Wolf as well. Had a very good race in F3 last night. Recovered from a difficult qualifying and ended up 10th and still ended up with decent points. Obviously leading F3 at the moment.
Is that McLaren? Yep. Cruising around on the gravel.
So far so good at the moment. Yep. I'll ride aboard with Source, see how he takes round the Suzuka circuit, heading down into turn 1. On turn 1, you're going to be turning and braking just before the 50-meter marker board. It's a double apex corner. You need to really hit the second apex. very nicely. But then here, how he handles through the S's now. In the dry, you got to make sure the car doesn't snap like that. But in the rain, it's obviously a lot more difficult. Don't ride the curbs too much either. All about momentum until you go up over the rise of this last part of the S's, and that's where you're finally up and out of the first sector. And you can see the way Source is trying to keep the car as stable as possible, but the rain is obviously very difficult. A lot more difficult on this game, I feel, as well than last game. Heading up into the hairpin where you can do a big Kamui Kobayashi lunge. Obviously Kobayashi used to be a famous Japanese driver in Formula 1. Used to love doing those dive bombs into that hairpin. And down into Spoon Curve. Another double apex left-hander this time. Got a mind on the curbs on the inside and out because they can upset the car, and of course track limits as well. As everyone is now starting to retire, because so we can move on to Q2 soon. And now here comes Source coming on to 130R, which is even in the rain flat, but he did have to take it a little bit eased off. But then into the which I believe is the triangle chicane. Of course, the place where Prost and Senna had that famous clash in 1989, I believe. Oh, and then obviously 1990, the year later, they both had a off at the first corner as a source of 41.6. That's in a decent lap there.
No, you pushed too hard.
Was it 89, the first clash between Senna and Prost?
Not too sure.
Or was it 90 and then 91 they had the year after? I know it was 2 years in a row.
I think it was 91, I think.
Guys in the chat, want to help me out? And I really should know off by heart. Oh, Andy Yuskin's had a off past the hairpin. He's doing a few donuts, I think.
Nice to move.
Gonna get the car moving.
Yeah, he's got to move.
Quickly. Come on, find reverse gear. Find reverse gear.
Let's get calm down though again.
Don't hold there too long.
Let's get a rev.
Yeah, around it. Yeah, he's all good. Oof.
Is this 12 though?
No, he's alright. Just, I think.
That's what I was saying. I quite like this track. Wait, I don't know. I just it feels better. I can tire where you don't have to worry about it as much. It's more
Yeah,
forgiving.
that too.
I'm pretty sure like the soft round here is like 9 laps. That's not decent. After that, that's a wave usually.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing with the softs is it's like most tracks with soft tyres, they're good for like 2-3 laps. You get like a second a lap difference compared to mediums, and obviously a lot on the hards, but once you get to like 8, 9, they start wearing off.
Yeah. A lot of drivers are struggling with that first turn. Going a bit wide and validating.
Well, the thing is, that first turn is similar to China. You've got to be braking and turning at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult corner to consistently get right.
Yeah, it's not a hit and miss one. You get that you don't. Anything else? Malcolm rimmed.
Alright. And Moses only just joined the lobby in time for this Q1 session. But he's in now, and that's good to see. I'm just gradually getting his hand in on a 7-minute 48 lap at the moment. Oh, must have been his out lap. Hey ho, he's about to start once again. Whoa, we've got some... Oh, Timmer!
Break.
Whoa. Oh, yeah, that's it. Let's give it a little tap and then on your way. Okay. A moment for Timmer. Get the tyres back in, and then you're alright. No damage as well.
Yeah, luckily it wasn't really a hard hit, I suppose.
Right, so while we have some time as Timber does some more of the drifting. Last week's race in Russia was a very interesting qualifying session and a very interesting race that Jesse won. I wouldn't say comfortably, but timed a virtual safety car to perfection and managed to get the lead over Scotsman, championship rival. But Scotsman still bagged the points in second place in the end. But Andy Yuzgin picked up his first podium of the season in the fellow Alfa Romeo, which means Alfa Romeo are still carrying on their strong performances in the overall constructors and the Tier 5 constructors as well, so third place for Andy. Immortal was fourth in the Red Bull, fifth was Tedist in the Ferrari, Daniel P45 in the AlphaTauri was sixth, Timmer in seventh in the other AlphaTauri, so AlphaTauri scored decent points there, eighth for Locker, ninth for Lincoln, and 10th for Spurs. 8R in the Renault. I believe he was reserving Renault for that time. For the drivers, as Shadow Moses goes through 51.5. For the drivers, Scotsman has a 24-point lead over Jessie. Jessie obviously cut that to 24 points with her win last time out. But obviously, as we mentioned, because Jessie isn't here, Scotsman can, with a good result today, move more than a race win ahead of Jessie Racer, which with 4 races to go would be a pretty good advantage. Behind Scotsman and Jessie, so Scotsman is on 238, Jessie 214. You got Daniel on third on 141, just ahead of an interesting battle between himself, Tedist, who's on 136, and Timmer on 128. So decent battle there, which I think may go to the end. Another thing of note, which we need to take, if Scotsman outscores Daniel by 8 points, then it is officially a 2-horse race between Scotsman and Jessie for the title. It's something we may need to keep an eye on. Obviously, he has to beat Tedist and Timmer by a little bit of a smaller margin. And oh my goodness me, Timmer! Did you see that?
No.
Jeez. He just went completely sideways at the edge of 130R and somehow caught it.
And Verstappen?
How he didn't hit the wall, I have no idea. Yeah, so as I said, if Scotsman outscores Daniel by 8 points, and I think it's Tedis by 4 or something like that, then it will officially be only 2 drivers left mathematically for the Drivers' Championship. Behind the top 5, so in 6th place is Rogue with 87 points. He is missing tonight, which is a shame. You've got Tribal on 17, McCracken on 62, Lincoln 59, Double on 58, Force Mignon on 58, Immortal 53, Locke on 41 with Andy Yuskin on 41, Jamie 24 on 39 points, Howardino on 22, Shadow Moses and Orphan on 11 points each, Kabuki on 5, and Source on 3 points. As qualifying 1 is now over, we're just waiting for the drivers to return back to the pits.
Yeah, it looks rather dry right now.
Is it stopped?
Yeah,
it's stopped raining?
Yeah, it's been stopped for about half a session.
Ooh.
If it will start again, get into Q2, or to go dry again.
So what are we saying? Damp Q2, dry Q2?
If tracks like this, I'm pretty sure it should be soft. It could be a gamble here and there. It's a struggle to get through the first sector because your car can just snap anyway, so with a bit of greasy track, I'm sure it can't be any better.
Timber improves to a 41.7. All pretty good at the moment.
Shadow and Harold. And that'll be us heading into Q2.
So far so good, apart from Teddy's disqualification, which I think was a bit harsh on the game, but there you go. Apart from that, everyone safely through to Q2.
Yep.
Right, so there we are. Scotsman with a 1.5 second advantage going into Q2, but obviously intermediate conditions, I don't think many others were pushing, but if that is the advantage he has, that would be interesting. But obviously track is drying up, so we are obviously could see very different times moving forward.
Yes, I'm trying to see what Wales doing. If it'll be a dry Q2, it'll show us what the strategy's going to be. I would think medium to hard.
Mm. What we want actually is the still the intermediates, won't we? Because then that will make the race interesting in terms of strategy. Papa Smurf is left. Oh, it's dry.
A little bit dry.
Oh well.
Oh, it was fun while it lasted.
Could you get Papa Smurf back in, please?
Papa.
Who apparently is Spurs 8. Just changed his gamer tag. But I hope he told all relevant people, because it's something that I don't know. So here we are into Q2, and the house driver of Haldinho is first to go out on the soft tyres already. Jamie saying how many laps in the race. It is 27. Thank you, Hush, for confirming. I thought it was 27. Right, in terms of strategy, Toxic, it's really softs to mediums, I feel. Obviously, I've done my race on Sunday, so I would know, but softs to mediums, mediums to softs. Although you can do a cross between a 1 and a 2 stop, yeah. I believe. As what is going on the S's? There's a Mercedes off, and there's huge collision with Scotsman and Shadow Moses. What on earth has happened here?
That's interesting.
There's a couple of penalties that bumped up. Scotsman has a go. Oh, and Source has lost it. As I looked,
Shadow's also lost it.
Scotsman a collision with Shadow Moses. He's got a grid penalty. 5-place grid penalty. For championship leader. What is going on? Obviously, a change of grip. I saw a cluster of cars. I thought they were just letting each other through. They must have had contact there somewhere. And then Source and Shadow Moses doing a choreographed side-by-side there.
Yeah. That'll shake up things for Scotsman as well.
Yeah, apparently Source crashed and hit Scotsman, but the penalty on the race director is Scotsman hit Shadow Moses, so maybe Moses hit Scotsman and the game thinks, well, it's Scotsman's fault, and it's obviously our own stewards will decide if there are any other penalties, but unfortunately we can't take that grid penalty off, rightly or wrongly.
Nope. That'll make the race a good chunk more interesting, with him starting further back.
It's one of those things that if Scotsman, I'd imagine he'd not best pleased, especially if that wasn't his fault. But he's got to put it to one side now. He's got to qualify still best he can.
Yep.
Yeah, I was saying about strategy. Me and Brutal Reapers in F2, we were debating about 1 stop or 2 stop, and we decided if you're outside the top 10, go for the 1 stop, because it'll be then mediums to hards or softs to hards if you can make it. But if you're in the top 10, obviously starting on soft tyres, which you could because obviously you want track position, then it's going to be a 2 stop.
Yeah.
So a little bit of flexibility here. Obviously the 1 stop obviously count into safety cars if there is one.
Yeah, that always changes up everything.
829 for Haldinho. First lap on.
Ferrari. That's Alpha. As Scots have confirmed the last chicane in the validates. And they'll go into the pit. They'll get a fresh set of tyres on, you don't want to be starting on the old ones. The good thing is here it's hard to, if you invalidate in the last chicane you can always pit. The colour tracks, you've got the big...
There's an absolute ton of invalidations right now. There's only Haroldinho that's set a lap so far. Mercedes of Kabuki. Kabuki's going to be the second one, I think. And 33.4 on Kabuki on the soft tyres.
Who's next? Locker? That's out lap.
Outlap for Locker. Jamie's on an outlap as well. We've got a racing point of Stars Orphan, who is on the medium tyres. An interesting call. He's got a AlphaTauri of, I guess, it's Daniel. Yep.
Yeah,
Giving Daniel a slight toe up through 130R.
That's Timmer. No, is it Daniel? Yeah, it's Daniel.
Yeah,
sorry.
it's Daniel.
It's this.
Yeah, Daniel's going to get a lovely section across the line and sets a 30.0 on the medium tyres. So pretty decent lap from Daniel.
Ooh. Who's next? Got a Haas.
Moves the pits as a McLaren of Papa Smith, but he's invalidated. Shadow Moses.
Another Haas.
Shadow Moses in the Haas next to come across the line. Cross past the pit lane of 34.3.
Timmer. Second.
Nice lap from Timmer.
Kabuki goes top, the 31.4. Who's that coming around now? Locker, I believe, yep. Last chicane here. Uh, 34. It's very spread out right now. At times.
I think what it is that, you know, when you're going from intermediates to dries and you like doing the first lap since it's been intermediate tyres.
Yeah.
So you've now got a lot more grip. And it takes like a few laps maybe to sort of get used to.
Is that a Mercedes fun out on the straight?
Oh, Sauce, he's lost it. Sauce is out.
Right in the middle
oh,
of the track.
jeez. My guess he's lost it last corner and hit the pit lane wall. Oops.
Oh, that's unlucky. Another thing is this engine can be very... you can also pick up 5-second time penalty. There's a little downhills until it takes forever to break. We could see quite a few penalties there maybe.
Up the Smurf goes fastest on a 29.5 on the soft tyres. Pretty decent lap from the McLaren driver there. Going full beans on the soft tyre strategy.
Scotsman coming round. Nope. It's Andy. Out lap.
Yeah. I think Scotsman. No, Locker's 4 seconds up.
Yep, there we go.
And goes quickest on the medium tyres. Great lap from Locker.
Tyres.
Couple of tenths quicker than Daniel there. Very nice. Scotsman looks like he's on a bit of a flyer here.
They're looking very fast, nice and tight to the end. There we go.
28.5, a
Oh,
whole second quicker.
Yep.
Goodness me. Wow.
Lincoln?
Oh, but Lincoln then goes a tenth quicker than that. Wow.
Taking good near the top. Yep. Is who's next? McLaren. And lap, I'm pretty sure.
On the Smurf, I think maybe. Nah, he's down on his lap. 6 seconds off. Must be Andy Yuskin next.
It's purple second. Looking nice and fast.
Into the chicane. Car steps out a little bit.
Nice and tight.
Looking pretty good though.
Ooh,
Ooh,
2 tenths quicker.
28.2.
Renault coming across the line. Jamie. Out lap. Just starting his lap now. Immortal P4. 29.4. Who else? Yeah, it's getting closer and closer to the top now.
Yeah, so Mortal now, fastest of those on the medium tyre.
Look at the top 3, I believe, on softs.
I reckon it depends whether those like Haldinho, Kabuki and all those go on soft tyres. You might have a couple of people get through on the mediums, which could be interesting for the race.
Yeah. But, I think the strategy's very mixed round here. So I think, I don't know what I'm going to do on Thursday, personally.
Yeah.
Using this as a sneak peek into other strategies. I'll pick my best one.
Well, the problem is with the F2 and the F3 races already this week, they did have safety cars in them, so... Oh, there's Jamie. 28.2 on medium tyres.
That's rapid.
Hang on. Goodness me, that's 1.2 seconds quicker than Immortal on the same tyres. And that's quicker than... So we know that Scotsman's quick around here, right? That's 3 tenths quicker than him on a slower tyre.
That's mad. There's
Pretty lap.
Kabuki, he's an outlap. So that, yep, the other
Miles off and
Renault.
going again.
And then the last chicane.
That force manure it is.
Nice and tight. 29.6.
9.6. Quite nice.
That McLaren then again. Yeah, that.
Ooh. Orphan nearly losing it. Just past 130R. It's around the last corner though. Obviously now a lot more easier due to the bump being removed. Sets 31.2, stays in 11th place.
I don't know how we get that fast in the mediums.
Mortal retires. Is Mortal going to be safe on that? Might not be. Because considering Locker's now coming out on softs, as is Daniel, they're feeling the pressure of maybe being eliminated from Q2.
Yeah, I think they might be safe. We'll soon see. Kabuki coming round in a chicane.
Yeah.
In purple second, is it going to be a quick one? 29 I believe. 29.9.
29.9.
It's in the danger zone. And
Goes into 9th place.
unless he's continuing this lap round, because he won't have time to go back in. So he's backed out though.
Jamie24 in the chat saying love this track. Yeah, I can tell. I can tell with that lap. Jeez. Haldinho 1.7 up. It's interesting how quite a few people, at least Haldinho and Stars Orphan maybe, are just trying to stick to this medium tyre strat.
It's not looking like it's going to work.
12th place.
If he's pushing,
And
does his
Orphan's
finish
in the pits, as is Moses. And now this is a fight between Locker, who's invalidated. That's not going to help him. Minute Right, oh. Locker, who is just at the hairpin now, 56 seconds. Is that going to make it round again?
Maybe. I don't think so. I think that'll be cutting it really tight. Couple of seconds. Just pace, so I think you might make it.
We'll keep an eye on it. Kabuki will make it.
It should be good, yeah. If you can keep it on the track. Yeah, he's looking like he's gonna make it round.
Where is he?
It's kind of lost again,
yeah, I think he's actually going to make it. Easy, actually, to be honest.
Yep, didn't think they would, but here we are. And
Right.
Papa Smurf behind him, but finishes lap.
7 times up, that's pretty good.
P5.
So 29-1. Lost a bit in the last sector by the looks of it, because he was near 8 tenths up on his PB.
Yeah.
And lost about half a second in that last sector, so, but still pretty good. So, first the AlphaTauri's Daniel goes to third on the softs, puts himself safe, knocks his teammate out, who's in a duel with Kabuki by the looks of it, and Locker also on a lap. Timmer is a second up on his lap. That'll put him just through if he can get this last chicane right. Goes slightly deep into the first part though.
Back in.
He's backed out of it.
I thought that. Should I got through?
Oh. Ho ho ho. Strategy.
So Kabuki
Strategy,
safe.
I think that is. I think that's strategy from Timmer because he lost a bit of time in the chicane, but that would still have been enough to go through. And he's starting 11th. It'd be on fresh tyres.
Good strategy to pull off. Locker coming around so he can improve. P6, 28.
Yep, easy. So, in the end, both Renaults, Force Manure and Jamie, and Immortal will be starting on the medium tyres.
That'll be interesting to see how the mediums can compare at the start to the softs. If a couple of folk did 2 laps on the softs also, that could make it harder for them to keep them going. Scotsman get through in basically a fresh pair. This would just Weasel and Papa Smurf to retire, I believe. Yeah, it's looking close at the top right now. Very vague between the mediums and softs. I thought now Daniel got fast in the mediums.
Look at that though. I think in terms of story, in terms of championship story, that's the biggest takeaway from Q2, is that grid drop from Scotsman. Although, I was going to say he was a cinch for pole after Q1, but considering Andy, Daniel, and especially the lap from Jamie on those medium tyres, I think it'd be very difficult to get pole, to be honest. But he's got to minimise the damage, doesn't he, now with that?
Yeah, that's good. Taking doing this last.
So out of Q2 is Tim in the AlphaTauri, Haldinho in the Haas, Orphan in the Racing Point 13th, Shadow Moses 14th, and Source in the Mercedes will start 15th after crashing just on the last corner. Timmer, please include your audio, please.
Evening.
And I have to say, I can see what you were doing because
I'm in the sweet spot.
backed out that last lap. You backed out that last lap, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, you can't pull the wool over my eyes. I've been around commentating too long.
Yeah.
So strategy you're thinking of? What's the obviously fresh tyres? So
yeah.
You'll be the first on fresh tyres. Is that basically the reason there?
Yeah, that was the reason there. Might go on the harder compound maybe and try and work my way up if there's a safety car. But, you know, that would be the aim.
Yeah. So obviously you're So, obviously, going with the fresh tyre thing, though, are you going to be aggressive at the start, or are you going to be a little bit cautious? Maybe try and keep wait until your fresh tyres take effect.
Yeah, I'm gonna bide my time like I normally do. There's nothing's going to change there. Just I think the first few laps could be. I don't know what's going to happen in the first few laps. It can be hectic. So just kind of try and avoid getting any damage, and hopefully pick up a few places from there.
Yep. In terms of the championship, obviously this season you've had a respectable season, I feel. If you don't mind me saying. Yeah, but in terms of the championship, obviously Drivers' Championship, you are mathematically still in it, behind Scotsman. But yeah, but the fight for you, by the looks of it, seems to be for third place in the championship, with your teammate Daniel and Tedist there in the Ferrari. So what's your thoughts heading for that? Obviously Tedist got disqualified in Q1, so he'll be starting back there. Obviously Daniel's in Q3. So what are your thoughts in terms of that?
Look, myself and Daniel are going to try and bring home as much points as we can together, as the car need them. So, to me, I raced for crack, a bit of social banter, and I'm not looking to win every race. It's not something I can do. So, if I finish high up the field, I'm delighted. If I don't, it's not a big deal. Just thrilled if I could get third, but myself and Daniel just need to try and gather in a few points. I need a few bad races there. Last 3 races weren't great for me, so I need to haul in a few more points for the team really, and hopefully try and maybe nab the constructors in F5.
Yeah, looking at the F5 constructors, you are still in that because you are 90 odd points behind McLaren, I believe, which is still very much doable.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can still get that, or catch Alfa Romeo for second.
Exactly,
Still very much possible. So yeah, good luck for that. Any questions from you, Toxic, before we allow Timmer to prepare for the race?
Nah, just good luck. Have a good race, hopefully. We might see you back here at the end.
No worries, thanks. Cheers, lads. Talk to you.
Yes.
Who's the first one across the line?
Would have been Andy, but he's invalidated on his lap, so it's going to be Jamie's going to be the first one. I'm very keen to see what he's going to do, because obviously he showed blistering pace in the mediums in Q2. Bollard's already been knocked off of that chicane from Andy in front of him. Flips the gravel. What are we going to set? A 27.6. The first lap gone. That's 1.4 seconds quicker than his teammate. Only 7 thousandths quicker than Daniel, popping into second there. Very good close lap from Daniel. Moves himself onto the front row for the time being.
Motto has
As Lincoln goes to third.
Kabuki's invalidated. Papa Smurf's invalidated. Scotsman.
Scotsman next. Key session for him. He's got to get up as high as possible.
Tight again. P1, 1/10 clear.
All for now. Remember, he does have a 5-place grid penalty.
He'll be wanting to try and get as high as possible, so isn't he?
Yes.
Pushed hard
Basically,
back.
pole position is what he wants. A 10th at the moment, with Scotsman, Jamie and Daniel there.
That's all looking... Yeah, I don't know how to do from the midfield, especially in turn 1. It's a very hard turn. Where they try to turn, brake, trying to avoid damage at the same time. So hopefully we can get everybody through with no damage and flying cars.
Obviously, we don't want any more.
Andy's coming
Flying
across the line. P4.
Wow. 27.7, only 2/10 off his teammate for pole. I think this is a big chance for anybody here.
Yeah, it's a big chance to get a start. Maybe Daniel. believe Miss Ibby's done the lap, apart from
Yeah,
Kabuki.
going back into the pits.
Kabuki,
Papa Smurf is heading straight back out again.
Kabuki hasn't validated. Again. Yep. Ibby's pitting and come back out again as Andy. He's just take his time round. No major rush. So we've still got Immortal, Kabuki and Papa Smurf to set laps. And
It was a flying Quaker, Haroldinho. A flying Quaker. Last night in F3. Definitely was a sight to see on the opening lap. What are we going to get in F5 today? Are we going to have 2 flying cars? Can F5 beat that? Obviously, actually no. No, I want a clean start. I don't want flying cars in turn 1, please.
and try and keep Ibby on a track through the S's as well. It's very hard to ride through there. After turn 1 you want to be in a single file kind of thing.
God, even in real life they sort themselves out before the S's, don't they?
Yes.
Always trying to get in single file.
Because no one wants to lose a position, but then you don't want to be side by side.
You want to take us through a lap on board Papa Smurf? He's about to begin one.
Papa Smurf, let's go. That's through the last sector into the straight. DRS enabled. Down the long straight heading towards the long swooping right-hander. So we go in really nice, carrying a lot of speed, a lot of momentum, using the curb on the right. Into the S's, can be very tricky. Got about 5, keeping it nice, avoiding the curb at all costs. And that one a little bit to the exit, up the little hill. Head into sector 2, this right-hander can be taken fast over a bit deep.
The Degners. They're the Degners. I now remember the name.
And we've got Kabuki though. Is it in old tyres?
Is that third? Hasn't gone back in the pits yet. That's the 3rd lap. Interesting.
Got a Immortal behind him as well. Oh, the Seagull's wide.
Oh,
Immortal
it's
coming.
valid though.
Should get us a little bit wide. Just gonna have to let Immortal pass now. Let me just finish the lap. Is that a McLaren spin round? Nope, just letting somebody past.
Yeah, let the AlphaTauri by. I think it must have been. It was actually Papa Smurf.
We'll see if he pits or continues for another lap.
I love our Haroldinho because he's spectating Q3. He's even telling me who's next on the lap, or who's next about to complete one. Right, Immortal. First part's okay, second part very nice. Mind the traction because it still can be a little bit loose on the rear end, and goes 6th. Decent job. Still leaves. Kabuki has still not dived into the pits.
And Jamie's
We're now on a 4th lap.
Jamie's coming around into last chicane right now. A fresh pair of softs.
3 times up. This is a good pole lap
Yep,
at the moment.
here we go.
27-0. Nice.
Rapid. The Scotsman starting his lap now.
Nearly a 26.
He's voting to reclaim that
And
pole.
that's him done. It's him done potentially because he can go on an out lap slow and then back again. Force manure. Near half a second up. Andy's crashed it
Ash?
through the last part of the S's.
Oh,
Where's he oh, whoa, right
oh,
across the
boy.
track.
Is that McLaren?
Wow.
Please don't hit him. Please don't hit him. Oh my god. Oh. Please.
Decent roadblock there for the Alfa Romeo.
Hopefully this is away now. Another.
Renault off as well.
Yes.
Jamie.
So
They want to go
Scotsman's
through.
lap wasn't. Is that another lap? Yep. The other Renault. years off. Here comes Racing Point also, but that Collins clustering out. Just having bother. No flying cars just yet.
Kabuki's done. Did 4 laps on his softs, and maybe he didn't have any softs left potentially, but still. Tip for him. Alpha Male coming around. Scotsman.
Start his lap. I'm pretty sure you get mucked up by the car in the middle. You were taking his round.
Lincoln and the cart. And you're coming around as a Racing Point of Locker. 40 seconds left.
I'm pretty sure other drivers get mucked up by Andy in the middle of the track.
Locker is 6/10 up. That will put him in 6th at the moment. See what time he can get in the last chicane. Nice on the exit. Hug the wall. Oh, goes 5th. Nice from Locker. Renault of that Immortal has retired. Papa Smurf gets out of the way, but Papa Smurf's not going to make it round.
Scotsman's only the first one across
down.
Lincoln's behind them. Interesting to see if he can get any faster. Yeah, that'll be starting on P6, I believe. Is that a Racing Point off? Almost.
No, just going slow. It's just Scotsman or Lincoln Dave left. Scotsman is 1.4 down. He's not improving, and he's turned his ERS down, so it's just Lincoln to go.
And he is
3/10 up. And he is 3/10. That would put him ahead of Locker again. He improves out this last sector. Yep. Takes 5th back by a couple of hundredths over Locker. And Locker's on a slow lap, which means that is it. Jamie will be on pole, and he'll be joined by Daniel alongside him on the front row. Scotsman will go down to 7th place with that, which is still not too bad. I mean, it's not 6th, which is the minimum, but 7th is still not too bad.
I think it's the way you want to be, really. Kind of midfield. Into that turn 1. Kind of want to be first to last.
Right, so there is your top 10 there. Jamie on pole position, a great lap from him, 4/10 quicker than Scotsman. Scotsman obviously has that grid drop, so it'll be Daniel in 2nd, Andy 3rd, Lincoln 4th, Locker 5th, Forceman you're in 6th, then it'll be Scotsman, Papa Smurf in 8th, Morto 9th, and Kabuki in 10th place. Alright, include your audio please, Jamie. And what a fantastic pole position from yourself. Back in the Renault now. I believe, as you said, a full-time seat in the Renault. So first of all, you must be very happy with that. But secondly, yep, you seem to be very, very hooked up at this track in Japan. Is it one of those hooked up laps, or do you generally love this place?
Well, I am a fan of the track. I've always done well on it. Just that lap felt pretty much perfect, really. Just it was one of those where I nailed it. And I think I know time trial you shouldn't go off it, but I think I did 26.4.5. So there's maybe a little bit of time. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, time trial is a loose representation about how quick. I mean, you can gauge of how quick you are, but obviously not everyone puts
I've done
everything into time trial. That's the thing.
Race runs. Yeah, it's just I'm happy with it. It's first week back in a full time. Started all right.
Yeah, obviously I've done F5 a few times before. Obviously, it's mainly Raikkonen, but I have watched F5, and ever since you joined, F5, you have shown the pace to be up at the top of this grid, and constantly fight for the podiums, but it seems like being caught up in some not so great luck, especially last week. Obviously, I don't. You probably won't forgive me for bringing up last week, because last week was
it was
looked a bit
a
rough.
mess. Yeah, I think like turn 4, I went into the back of Haroldinho, and then about 5 laps later, I spun myself. So I feel like my biggest issue with racing is consistency. So like next season, that's when I'm hoping to be a bit more consistent.
Yeah, obviously we got including tonight, we've got 5 races to go. Obviously 4 next week. Yeah, as you say, just finish off this season on a good note, and then obviously a week or 2 break after this season is finished, and then you're back into, and maybe you could be one to watch next season.
I mean, well, I just want to get through the season first, because like the next 4 or 5 races, whatever it is, they're very strong tracks for me. So Brazil and Abu Dhabi are 2 of my favourites. So I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. I'm trying to get my voice ready, because now Ronaldinho wants me to do the thing that Raikkonen does. Yeah. Toxic, any questions for our pole man here?
What's the secret to being 5/10 faster than the Dales? I need tips.
Just bash time trial.
Time
Time
trial,
trial, and yeah.
I
Also, still.
I would loosely agree.
Still grunty setup, and then that's my key to success.
Borrow.
Yeah, we'll say borrow.
Right, we'll let you go as the race.
Yes.
Formation
start
looks
now.
start.
So,
But maybe
good-
see you in the race. Maybe.
yeah, good luck, Jamie. Good luck.
Cheers.
All we confident. Don't you love hearing a confident person when they say they're going to be talking with you again at the end of the race? Ooh. Let's see if he can do it. He nearly spins off the line. That would have been a good start. Anyway, take us through the grid, please, Toxic.
In the back, we've got Tedis starting. Unfortunately, he got disqualified. Starting on the track. Then we've got RSF1 Sauce, P15 Shadow Moses, P14 Star Orphan, I believe. P13 Haroldinho. P12 Timmer has spun, but is P11.
Yeah.
Kabuki and P10. Immortal P9. Papa Smurf P8. RSF1 Scotsman with that unfortunate grid penalty starting on P7. Horse Manures P6. RSF1 Locker P5. Lincoln Dave P4. Andy Yurskin P3, Daniel in P2, and Jamie in P1.
Thank you very much. And you just saw there on the graphic at the bottom, 1 stop or 2 stop. Really depends how you find the hard tyres, to be honest. Which Timmer, ironically, spun on his outlap, because that's the 2nd week in a row I've seen an AlphaTauri backwards on the formation lap. Is the only one on the hard tyres, which is a very, very interesting call.
Yeah, this.
The rest outside the top 10 all on mediums, and he's on the hard tyres. They are quite good, I would say, the hard tyres at the beginning of the race. Toxic, from what I tried to do on Sunday, because I started 15th on them. But you need to get in the rhythm pretty soonish with him. Just bide your time, as he said he will do, but he'd be interested to see what he does from there. But Jamie, he's got to keep the lead off the start, doesn't he? Because he's got Andy, Daniel, Lincoln, Locker all on softs. They all are going to be keen to get by him.
I don't know if you noticed, but Ted just got disqualified just there. He was starting on freezing cold tyres in the back. For just playing it safe back there, as if he comes into the grid. And then
Power sliding his way out the last chicane there. Right, so this is a key race for a few drivers on this grid. Obviously Jamie would, as I mentioned, wants to put Russia behind him. He's done the best way possible by starting on pole position, but can he convert it is the question. Obviously Scotsman has a huge opportunity to extend his championship lead if he can have a good result. Daniel has got to beat Scotsman to stay mathematically in it for the begin. So I've got to do this best I can now. As we're already 4, 5 red lights for the Japanese. 3, 4, 5 lights. No! Lights out and away we go. That's my best attempt. And Jamie's actually got a really good start. And we've got 3 wide once again through the midfield. And we just kept it. No flying cars this time.
Oh.
Jamie's kept the lead. What a start from him. Horseman, you're up to 6. Scotsman still in the 7th. There's a yellow flag at the back. Shadow Moses is spun.
He's auto spun. He's going back at the track.
Yep.
Oh, Moses. That's close.
All sorting themselves out through the S's. Papa Smurf and Immortal going side by side. But apart from that, as I gather myself after my voice is now just a little bit less strong as it was, only 2 changes according to this.
Yeah,
Mortal up 1 and Source up 1. That's it. What a I wouldn't have said ordinary start. Definitely looked a bit hectic, but no changes really.
Yes. Usually edges up and down round about. Scotsman's all over the back end. You're here. Really wanting to get past and yeah, so it's going to get them moved down the back straight down here. Force is also fighting
he's
that.
not
Force is
not close. Oh, you got he's had a look. You can see already, even on the opening lap, Horseman on these medium tyres is really costing Scotsman. He's got to get past on the last corner, and he does. Horseman got caught on the curb.
oh,
And there's a penalty. Safety car. Oh, it wasn't clean. Timmer at the back on the chicane. There's big damage. There's a big kerfuffle that's happened there. And he's straight into the pit lane, as is a couple of others.
Bookie has a first time penalty. Interesting to see what folk are going on. I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of damage off the line.
Hamiltonio as well. So safety car early on.
Scott's made it up 3 positions already. We're chasing down to that first place.
There goes the timing pages.
Yep.
That really hurt my voice doing that. I don't know how Raikkonen does it.
Takes years of practice.
Yeah. How was it, chat, by the way? Those that heard it. Actually, what do you think? You were nearest.
Yeah, it's very good. 10 out of 10.
I feel less though. Goodness me. Right, timing pages all over the place, but we wait as Jamie is going to be picked up by the safety car. Do you reckon anybody else is going to pit? Obviously, it's people with damage, obviously they did, because they had to, but do you think anybody else who didn't get damaged will pit for strategy?
Maybe good. And the fresher task force is the back. 2 from the back of it and the hards and 2 in the soft. I don't think the hard can last, so I think the soft back to the medium maybe. The strategy for the Tim and Sauce. Be interesting to see what strategy they're pulling off. I'm just waiting everybody else to catch up with the safety car.
Oh, and Ian. And Locker.
Scotsman
and the Scotsman. Uh-oh, double stacking. Double stacking for the Alfa Romeos. It's going to drop Scotsman both Alfa Romeos well back into the...
Oh, almost perfect.
Yeah.
He's on the hards.
Really? Big gamble, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think the hards can last unless you take really good care of them. Maybe another safety car.
They aren't going to get to the end.
Yeah.
No way they get to the end. Based on... Oh no, actually saying that, what was it last night? I think Daniel... Oh, I know what it is. It's Toto Wolff himself, because he himself did 23 laps on the hard tyres.
So, could be possible.
in F3. Yeah.
Just,
They got to be good on tyre wear though.
I think Scott's been pushing really hard to try and get his positions back up, so it could be harsh on the tyres. But we'll see if he's starting to catch up. Maybe one more lap of the safety car.
It definitely was a Toto call. He's just told them to do it. He just confirmed it in the chat.
The two Mercedes have got the penalties so far.
He's right. So all below 9th has pitted. Interestingly, Source and Timmer went on to Sauce Toxin. Now, obviously, they have to pit again. But what's your thought on that? Because Timmer was on hards. Source, was he on hards as well, Source?
No, I'm pretty sure he was in mediums off the start. I believe. But I swear I don't like to start on the hards. I feel like if I get damage, make him off straight away. Like to start, I think maybe they'll be running. Well, they will certainly run a 2-stop now. Maybe in mediums. Or if they'll last the whole time either after the next stop have to do, they'll be hoping for another safety car. Help them out. I'm sure this will be the last lap of the safety car. Mercedes pits. Sauce.
Yep.
7 a penalty and getting on the mediums.
Getting a penalty out of the way. It's actually quite clever.
A fresher set of tyres as well. That'll put him into last.
Can you check the pit stops, please? As Locker and Andy have had a coming together there. 5-second penalty for Locker. Yeah, can you check the pit stops and see who had damage? Because I think Source did. Trying to gather what happened in the kerfuffle to get this safety car, because it was like a cluster of them.
Sauce had front wing, Papa Smurf had front wing, who else? Tim had front wing, Starfunny had front wing. Yeah, I think that's it. Harold Daniel also had front wing, so that was it. And some folk just pitting for the strategy, I suppose. So that's Eddie's back up now. Locker's managed to pick up a penalty.
So interesting now what this safety car brings, because now you've got both Alfa Romeos and Papa Smurf and Orphan in a way as well. They obviously going to try and get to the end on the hard tyres. We've seen it can be done from Total Wolf and a couple of others in F3 last night, but I still think you've got to be good in your tyre wear, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes on that. I think this safety car doesn't really help those on softs at the moment, I think, Toxic, to be honest.
Yeah, they were
especially, especially those that haven't pitted, like the likes of Daniel and Lincoln, for example. Safety car is in this lap, so ready for racing once again.
Jamie backs us up. Should leave enough space, you don't want to slow down right off.
Ooh, very slow down. When's he going to get it? When's he going to go? Daniel is still very keen to get by. And off he goes. Just at the last chicane. A little bit of a slide from Jamie, but he's done that absolutely perfectly. Almost a second he's got. Oh!
It's still out?
Yeah. It
went
was?
in. No. This game never
Did it
fails
go?
to confuse me.
Did it go in?
I didn't see the message,
Question.
but I was assuming it was in if I put a gap. I am so confused. This game never fails to confuse me.
Even Jamie in the chat was trying to control this. Even he got told it was coming in.
Let's just hope it goes in this lap.
Game, are you okay?
So last time we needed it
No,
to crash.
We were ready to go.
Should have Dale Bell speaking really confused right now. Yes, Kabuki and Locker are both on 5-second time penalties right now. Not too good in the first 5 laps.
The extra lap kind of benefits Jamie in a way as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, these tyres, suppose that'll...
Benefits those on the hards as well.
Yeah.
One less lap they need to go through.
The soft runs are swaying about, but I'm sure that won't help the weight. They'll be almost ruined before the time we get going again.
I feel that Daniel and Lincoln, they have to pass Jamie and get a gap, because I feel, especially with that extra lap that wasn't meant to be.
There we go.
Right, in this lap, it should go in this lap.
Let's just hope it does go in this lap.
Keep an eye on that dot of the safety car to make sure it does go in this time.
I'm following in. Is Jamie slows up for the second time? Ready to try and get a start again. Is it? I believe it's going in this time. Please go in. 10. Please. Please. Is that still out? I think it's in.
I'm not sure.
It's in.
I'm really not sure about that dot.
Yes.
Hey, it's in.
Let's go.
Hey, away we go.
There's a
Away we go
big
once
gap
again.
straight off the bat from Kabuki and Shadow Moses, who's under pressure from Teddy straight away. In the turn 1, bit of a mess.
Tim's got by Papa
Oh,
on those soft tyres, making rooms.
oh.
What's going on? Andy in the mediums, Locker climbing all over his gearbox. Big snap by Andy. It nearly went quick sideways on him. So it's hard. Oh no! Shadow Moses round.
It's out of the way, which is a good thing. It's a shame. We've got Stephanie off as well. Just ahead of him.
Damage as well on the front wing. Same to see, but Jamie got a really good restart once again. Not as good as he did the lap before.
Yeah, Lincoln's struggling to keep up with Daniel currently, who really needs to be catching up and trying to get past Jamie, but these tyres are pretty sure they're wearing off really quick right now. We're 50.
Tim on those softs is absolutely flying. He's gone past Papa Smurf as if he was standing still, and he's now on the back of Scotsman. Only thing Tim can do on this strategy now.
Yeah, just try to pick up positions and... Oh, but I slide on the last chicanes from Timmer all over the place.
Oh, and again.
Up, with bad lag.
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 Man, it's like...
It's... Locker looking on Andy, not close enough. It's really tough around this first sector. You've got to stay as close as you can so you get into second and the start of third you can get there on the straight. You don't want to stay too close in case they go off in front of you. As Jamie's almost pulled a whole second on Daniel's got a yellow flag, Mercedes of sauce.
One, yeah.
Any damage? Nope.
Yeah, just had a bit of a spin.
And ahead, Harold's going slow as well. Every time we're getting 2 spins at a time. Who's next?
So the problem with the 2 Alfa Romeos is what they got now is traffic, which is going to harm their tyre wear because they're battling.
Yeah, the gap at the front's
So fast.
rather large. Daniel's burning through RS.
Yeah, Jamie's doing all what he needs to do.
But sure, DRS this lap, so he wants to be able to in that.
Oh, Locker's got a run. Locker's got a huge run. 130R thinks better of it. Put a bit of risk, but he could go for a lunge here up the inside of the chicane. Again, thinks better of it.
Yeah.
DRS enabled.
Daniel,
And he's very deep in the first chicane. This is a huge chance for Locker. Right up his gearbox. ERS.
no DRS
In
just
the
yet.
overtake. Boom, here he goes.
Flies by, bumped quite a lot of DRS, so
Nice.
Daniel wants to get in that second gap for the DRS. Just don't know how the tyres will be doing right now. I'm pretty sure they'll be wearing really quickly. Jameson's coming really fast out the corners. Lincoln's struggling to keep up. Hamilton's trying to keep up.
Oh, Oh, and he nearly lost it right in front of his teammate. Edge of the S's. Already seen a couple of people lose it there already.
Between 8th and 11th, it's kind of close in the battle we've got right now. The two alphas are trying to get past us. Locus.
Oh, no, it's all getting very close, and Timmins just mugged both alphas off the hip, and Andy had a coming together with Locker, and he's been hampered, but Tim's got by the pair of them.
Scott's
Opportunistic.
not be happy about that. Good reaction time though to avoid the incident. As that gap keeps getting bigger and bigger from Daniel and Lincoln. 3 seconds now. Daniel's in DRS, I believe. Yep, there we go. See if he can get a second out. Hard spun the ERS as well. Just try to keep up with Jamie, who's rather fast down here.
Yeah, but the problem is, Teddy's just got to run on Kabuki for turn 1. And nicely done with DRS. Very good, and Scotsman is going to get back by Timmer. There you go.
Timmer looks like a run out of turn 1, that thinks better of it.
No.
Locker hits the grass.
So this is where the softs now, their advantage seems to be ebbing away. But as you've said, the top two have gapped Lincoln. Lincoln seems to be happy where he is at the moment.
I think Jamie had a struggle. Is that Scotsman?
Oh, yellow fat set to 1.
Oh,
it's Andy.
He's on that column, that's really dangerous. So let's just get by and play. Oh my god.
With Papa Smurf. Oh. How close he was. That's a real shame for Andy.
Yeah, Daniel's
He's doing really good.
Closing in on Jamie now. I don't know if you've got a lot of ERS when doing it, but we're also getting past him.
It seems to be corner by corner. He's I think that's just softs.
Yeah, the start of the lap he was a second down, just picked up half a second, really close into this last chicane here.
I think that's just softs against mediums, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think consistency. I think Jamie has it at the moment. Although Daniel's got a big run out the last corner.
So he can get it here. Yep, flies by him. A 5-second gap is Lincoln pits.
Speeds in the pit lane now for Lincoln.
It's not what you want.
No. Real shame for Andy as Jamie kicks up on the gravel. Now, one thing is for certain, mediums cannot make it to the end. Hards maybe, mediums most certainly can't, because Shane tried to do it last night and got a puncher after 19 laps on them. So they definitely can't make it to the end. They will have to pit.
Yeah.
So at the moment, Scotsman will take the net lead.
Yes, he's gaining time in Locker as well.
He's got into a rhythm.
Bumped through quite a lot of ERS while doing that though. Maybe in this back straight I might get the move done. It's the only other battle we've got right now going. Lincoln and Harold. 9/10.
Teddy's turn. Oh, big snap of oversteer from Locker. That's not going to help him at all. They're going to be side by side up the hill.
It's a freebie battle here. The Mortal's dropping off. Oh yeah, Jamie's dropping off, sorry. Oh, Teddy's got a good run out the chicane. ERS and ERS, this is going to get past. It's really close side by side. Oh, right.
Nice. Good move.
Done, I believe. Sauce and Lincoln in the back of Harold here. I'm sure Lincoln will get the move done. He's got some significant speed. Sauce just taking his time, letting them fight it out.
Oof.
Lincoln gets past.
Move from Lincoln. He's already.
Oh,
yeah, he's already pitted.
A Mortal and Teddy are too wide into that right hander. They're getting really close as the Renault. Boss manure goes off a little bit, losing a little bit of time, not too much. Oh. Sauce gets past, Harold's at a Hass off again. Yep, Harold.
Yeah.
That
That
was
corner just past the S's.
it's proven tough. Jamie's back on.
Jamie's.
Yeah.
I think Daniel will be pitting soon.
Uh,
If not this lap, probably the next one. But you could see looking up into the chicane. Surely, yep. So be key of where he comes out, what he goes on to, because it's got to be hard tyres, I think.
Yeah. Teddy's got a run on a motor, I believe. In the big straight, I've been really close coming to the first corner. Oh, Teddy's.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh no, he's lost it. Try to keep hold of it. Ah.
There's a car coming round, don't. Oh, up. Right, just in time.
Alright, it's alright, it's alright.
Ah. Breathe.
I unfortunately got the wrong angle of that because the camera I was on cut to the one on the far outside of the track.
Yeah.
So I missed the contact. You always see just him sliding, trying to catch it, then spun the other way.
He caught it well, just unluckily got it in a little bit. Scotsman's up to P3.
Oh, Daniel's right up behind him. So Daniel's pitted, come out in 7th. He is 8 seconds off of Scotsman who's already pitted, and he's in traffic right behind Teddist. So that shows you the advantage Scotsman has actually put himself into.
Yeah, the pit might have worked off really well for him. He's got 3-second time penalty run a little bit
time penalty
wide.
though.
Locker will have DRS and him onto the main straight.
He's still battling with Lockyer, can't seem to get rid of him.
Jamie just passes the car of Shadow Moses. Daniel and Teddist. So next battle onto the straight.
Daniel needs to clear Teddist.
Up, Teddist bits.
Never mind. Never mind. He fits anyway.
Nice and easy. Who's after?
Up into 6th.
Locker on Scotsman's the. Oh wait, Andy.
Got Andy.
Yep.
The enforcement here might be
Backing off. Wise decision, I think.
Yeah, he was catching him, but yeah, just not enough. In a bad way. So who's hit
sliding
it? Only the
Adam.
top
Oh.
two. Jesus. Yeah, it's the problem with the hard tyres. It's the same with every track on this season, isn't it? It's the hard tyres are difficult to kind of work with.
Yeah, after being
Once you get into rhythm with them, they're alright.
Yeah, after being the soft and mediums, it's really hard to get the changeover. The yellow flag, Mercedes. No, nope.
Yeah, Kabuki's had enough. That's the thing with this race. We got everyone kind of going with the strategies, but the amount of people losing it at that corner, Toxic, we might get another safety car, and that can always throw things again.
Yeah, it'd be good to see on the other end, kind of the battles close together again. Then it's not like Jamie, for instance, the guy at the front will be wanting. The Scotsman on the motor right at the back into the turn one.
Scotsman just seems to be in a rhythm on these hard tyres.
Daniel Pitts. No.
As Timothy. Medium tyres, 13 laps there, that should be alright.
I believe he should make it.
Where's he going to come out? 10th? 11th?
Yeah, Scotsman's all over the back of a motor right now. He's got a rhythm going.
Yeah.
Immortal's not got a penalty. Scotsman does.
Jamie still leads this. 13 seconds ahead of this battle for second now. I'd be curious where he comes out in relation to Daniel. Daniel's got a huge undercut on him.
I think I'm P4, I think. Yeah. Let's see if he gets that.
Daniel's in a lot of clean air.
Scotsman not really pushing for the move, maybe he's waiting for the DRS straight, see if he signs DRS.
Got the two McLarens of Lincoln and Papasma very close to one another.
Yeah,
Through the smooth curve.
Lincoln's been catching up a great deal with Papasma. He's struggling in the hards. I think he's.
Jamie Pitts.
I think Lincoln might just get past him here.
Well, Lincoln's on far fresher tyres.
Yeah, it'd be smart to just let him
Papas.
past. They're gonna fight it.
Is he?
Just let him.
Not the best place to. Right in front of Sauce there
Sauce,
as well.
he's got the run on Papasma now. Really good run full. Even the DRS is activated to get past him. Easy as that.
Compromising far too much.
Yeah. A Scotsman takes P1.
Yeah, in the lead.
And he's already got almost a second gap.
Amy came out in 4th place, nearly 2 seconds ahead of Daniel in the end. As there's a yellow flag. Oh, Sauce is off. Right in the S's. Careful! Oh, no. That was bad. Oh, right. Oh, you could see it coming.
Let's get
Oh,
damage.
goodness. No, Sauce. That was... In that instance, track map. Use your track map. If you see a dot coming, don't
Immortal
allow.
has got damage. I believe. Is it him? No, wait. I think it's Shadow Moses actually. He's holding up Scotsman currently.
Oh,
This goes off. Oh my god.
that could have been interesting.
Let's see if it's
That's
Shadow.
3.
Yeah, I believe it's Shadow Moses got damage.
That's
Locker on Immortal? Maybe not. Oh.
had a look. Oh, right over the camera. Thanks, Locker. I'm not close enough. That instance there is what's the saying? Signal maneuver. Signal before you turn. Something like that.
Yeah.
You just knew, didn't you? As soon as he pulled out, it was like, oh, there's contact. I'm amazed, actually, that wasn't bigger contact than what it was.
The Locker's all over the back of my motor right now.
Locker, you weren't making a move through there. Jeez. Gap to leader, 7.8 seconds Jamie has to catch.
The Scotsman's really pulling the
Scotsman.
gap right now. 2 seconds and 2 laps, I believe, as Harold gets past Tim, or Tim was just pitted.
That's a shame for Tim, a real shame. Looking good on those medium tyres as well.
It'll be interesting to see if Sauce gets a penalty, a harsh one. Locker should have done an Immortal. Immortal on the 3-lap holder tyres.
Locker.
Maybe soon.
I'm not Locker. Immortal has barely any ERS.
He's still using it for the
It's used
chicane.
pretty much all of it.
He's using it for the chicane as well.
Locker
Locker
bits.
pits, yep. Maybe going for the undercut. I think it might work. Place your bets.
Where's he going to come out? Plus, has to go to hards because Softs won't make it,
He's
and
saved the
he's
penalty.
been held. Was that lag?
It's penalty, I believe.
Oh, penalty.
I'm pretty sure he had a
thought-
5-second penalty to serve.
Yeah. Where's he going to come out? Right close to Andy. No, behind Andy. Into 9th. And he can go pretty much 100% on those hards because they will easily do 10 laps. Shame he couldn't go just a lap or 2 more to maybe make a soft work. Is it something you reckon Immortal could do?
Could be trying that. He might be. He seems to really struggle on these tyres. I think it's time to pimp maybe.
I mean, if he tries it, here's the thing, if he tries it, so 9 lap, they would just make it, and he'll be against everyone on hard tyres. He'll be flying back up.
Yeah.
See what he does.
Come
Meanwhile,
to
Jamie
round.
is catching Scotsman.
It's
Keep on looking at the gap to leader.
Let's see if Locker Nah, I think he will get past him because penalty. Unless the motor's got a penalty, like he's straight in, straight out. He's
Soft tyres.
Yep.
Soft tyres, here we go.
And Scotsman
Where's gonna come
can't
out?
hold these to the end, so he'll have to pit, I believe.
According to his principal Toto, he doesn't have to.
Oh.
Well, yeah, Toto himself yesterday took him 23 laps, at least the exact same amount that Scotsman's attempting. Mortal comes out 7th on softs. Watch him rise up through the field. This could be quite easy already. As yellow flag.
Sauce.
Sauce.
Oh.
Jeez.
Got like close calls.
You've already made contact with Dimmer. Don't do that to Scotsman. Jesus. Otherwise you'll have a Sir Toto coming down on you.
Well, the past 2 weeks I'm sure Scotland's had 2 heart attacks. Last week somebody in the middle of the track almost compromised his whole race.
Was that Sauce or was that Kabuki?
Yes, Sauce was in the middle of the track there.
Yeah.
And Scotsman is on the back
6
of
seconds.
Kabuki now. Sure Kabuki will have to let him pass. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Oh.
Ah, this race just gets...
Yeah. There goes a model.
I don't know how we
Flying
haven't
by
saw
force manure.
any flying cars yet.
It's already on Papa Smurf. It's on flying on these softs. Trying to go ready outside of the chicane.
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh, backs out of it.
Very slowest by from P up. Half a six.
Oh.
These tiles.
That's 15 laps.
They could have went to the end.
Should have been fine.
Could have, yep. Interesting. Maybe hoping for a late safety car, maybe. He'll come out P10 I believe. Which is a point. There's a few pens away ahead of him.
It's a total wolf. What's with these mercs? I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. Right, gap 5.6 seconds. Can you check Scotsman's lap times compared to Jamie for a sec, please? At the last 3, because I'm sure he's like half a second a lap.
Well, last 3, 131.4, 131.7, 131.3. That's Scott. That was Jamie.
Yeah. Oh, that was Jamie. So
yeah.
I'm guessing Scotsman's in the 32s.
Scotsman, the past
by
laps, has been 32, 32, 31.
Yeah, so it's about almost a second a lap he's catching.
Yeah, he's in the far fresher.
And he needs to get within 3 currently.
The far fresher tiles. So we've got
If that's set to 1.
There's no car.
Orphan.
There's no car
Goes
coming
past the
this
S's.
time. Oh, nice.
Molding damage.
Midfield's close as Andy gets a move done in the turn 1 just before it.
Okay, got a Renault.
Plenty of
Kabuki
space.
got a Renault. Renault Jane. Oh, that again was another one. That's cost Jamie a 10th or so.
Top 5, we've got a Haas. Being Scotsman, which could potentially hold up Jamie. I'm sure he'll be hoping so. If Jamie can get in the 3 seconds, he technically will win this.
Put it on penalties now. So Scotsman has the 3. So if Jamie can get within 3 seconds, the win is his. And he'll look safe in 3rd. If Immortal can get within 5 seconds of Lincoln, he will get 4th.
I think Immortal might be about to get overtaken, maybe. And
No, Models.
Really close.
Models on sauce, he shouldn't really be. Must have been a mistake.
Yeah, Andy's really been gaining this whole lap. He's still gaining right now. Maybe different DRS, the Haas off. Shadow Moses, as another car comes round. Timmer. She gets past safely, no more damage today. Hopefully.
In comes Andy. Fastest lap on hard tyres.
Yeah, he was flying.
Steady on. Jeez. Lies past Immortal, who's on the softs.
And he's found his swing. There's a large gap to P4 now for him. Half a smash fastest laps off. Immediate response from him.
Immortal, for some reason, doesn't look as quick as I expected on these soft tyres, to be honest.
For the first lap he was rather racy, but after that he's already kind of...
Unless they use set.
I was thinking that.
Did he... position change. Did he make it... He started 9th. There's every reason that he'd used all his sets of softs just to make it to Q3, and then had none left for the race. Potentially.
Another Haas off again, I believe, a Haas. Get paddled.
Aldinho.
Right, there's nobody coming around.
Ooh.
There's no one coming around. Just nice and easy. In the reverse.
Doing a 300-point turn.
Just stick your hazards on.
And another yellow flag. And at the moment, Scotsman is kind of managing this now. Jamie was catching. And it's now hovering around 5.5 seconds.
That Haas is off again.
Off again.
Coming. The Scotsman's coming round. Please do
These
not.
Constant yellow flags.
And away, then
And no safety car yet.
The way.
He's good. He's alright.
I keep getting heart attacks. I'm going to die soon. As Jamie will come round on the Haas.
I think Jamie must have.
Hey.
I think Jamie must have had a mistake in the S's because
Yeah.
it was 5.5. It's now 5.8.
Scotsman's got 70% ERS and Jamie has 30. Scotsman can use that to his advantage and pull a gap as the midfield seems to get closer and closer. Lockermuir and Tedis.
This is I think, yeah, it is. This is big for Daniel as well because as it currently stands, if there's what's going on here? Wardle trying to edge around the outside of Spoon Curve when there wasn't a car gap in front of Andy. This looks far from over. We got Locker, Manure and Tedis there as well. And Andy's got 8 seconds worth of penalties.
The motor on the straight should get by them. Already past them. And there we go.
Off he goes.
Should be getting past them. 19 lap compared to 4 laps. All tyres. Jamie's getting closer again, I believe. That's a second. And this lap.
Scotsman must have had a mistake there on that lap as well. It's to and fro.
It's the last thing he needs right now. Yep, Jamie's getting really close, not really close, but close to that 3 seconds that he needs to secure P1.
Oh, Tedis on force manure towards the Degners. Right, not making a move there. No.
The midfield's rather close, apart from that it's very spread out.
Yeah. I was going to say this is big for Daniel, this result, because as it currently stands, if Scotsman wins, not got the fastest lap, has he?
No way,
No.
Papa Smith at least got it.
No, because Papa Smith is. Yeah, if Scotsman wins in his battle with Jesse, the lead will be 49 points.
Scotsman pulled a second now in that
Yeah.
last sector, so it's...
And for Daniel, he would be out of the championship mathematically, as would Timmer, so it would be down to 2 drivers for the rest of the season in last 4 races.
Jamie and Daniel are both struggling for ERS, both sitting around 20. Scotsman has got about 60. Fluctuating between 50 and 60. You're looking at minimap, look at the midfield, and it's really close.
Yeah.
A big DRS train right now is Locker might get a move, maybe not, maybe not.
No. Oh,
Go round. Immortal
You got
stuck
Andy
behind
on-
a lapped car. Adam Mosey's holding the hammer up. That's not what he needs right now.
Moses, you gotta get out the way. First set to one.
Oh.
Orphans off. Orphans off right at the end. Well, not right at the end. Still got 3 laps.
Will that bring out the safety car?
Safety car. Oh, right into the tire wall.
He's off.
Oof.
Oh. Yep, Shadow Mo's just got pushed off track basically.
Well,
Can't really be holding them up though. It's run the pack quite a good chunk together though. On this lap, Scotsman has lost 3 tenths to Jamie.
he's managing it, I feel.
But he seems to gain it through the last sector, I believe.
It's got almost double the ERS of Jamie. I feel like whenever the gap seems to be too low, he seems to be dumping a load of ERS and he's back within safe again.
He's getting a straight another big DRS train, I believe, from Immortal to Tedist.
And he is getting another time penalty. He's up to 11. It's going to drop him well.
He's
behind the train.
Moving Immortal. That's just before the fast. But wait, Immortal comes back in.
Switchback. Nice. And that's the thing when you go for a lunge and turn 1 though. You can just go wide on the exit and the person you're overtaking just nips back underneath you. Which is exactly what Immortal did this there. As
Sauce.
Yeah, sauce off again.
There's
a locker.
a car coming round. There's a car coming round. Just stay
locker.
there. Just stay there.
Time penalty for locker.
As I'm looking, Jamie's got second. Ish.
Again, he catches a second 1 lap and then
That's away the
goes
second.
back up again.
Yep, busy. Second last lap though.
As it currently stands, Tedis is going to jump ahead of Jamie fastest lap. He's not giving up on it.
Yeah, the old tiles as well, surprising. He's at about the 10% mark in the RS usually. Scotsman has been burning through his a little bit. Try and keep that gap, them tiles though. Significant difference as Jamie is getting rather close. It's in the 3 seconds now.
Oh, Forceman Yard. Oh, this could be an outside move.
Jamie goes purple first
No.
sector again, really catching 6 tenths and he's potentially got the win.
I can just see Turtle Wolf in the party with Scotsman. It's like, just manage the gap, you're doing alright. Again, it's two in and throwing. It's like one lap you think Scotsman's got it, and then the next lap Jamie's caught. And that 3 seconds is the one thing. If he didn't have a penalty, you'd be so much more comfortable.
Yeah. 7 tenths, it goes up and down constantly. Scotsman's
Andy.
onto a large percentage of his ERS.
On to the last lap. Jamie's got to find another 7 tenths on this lap.
Scotsman's got
Try and
to keep that 7
win
tenths.
away. Fastest lap again.
He's pushing rather hard.
I'm keeping an eye on this midfield.
2 tenths.
And this train here.
Now.
Last lap for Scotsman.
Andy on a motor maybe?
Yeah. I'm keeping an eye on this. I'm also keeping an eye on the fact that Tedis is clean and everyone in front of him has got penalties apart from Memorial, so he'll leap up to 6th.
Jamie
Once he can keep it
is
clean.
2 tenths off now. Up 3 tenths. It's through the S's, Scotsman's really struggling, the looks at.
It's out of fuel, he's got the blinking fuel light and Scotsman doesn't.
He might just have enough fuel to get round the track. Last thing you want, running out of fuel.
Slightly deep. I mean, he can see him.
1
The
tenth.
target,
1 tenth.
3.1.
Pass.
Oh, Hamiltonio's crashed it on the last lap. It's
McLaren.
taken out Papa Smurf. Papa Smurf loses the point
I watched Timmer here, please don't hit the
on
cars.
the line.
Don't hit the cars. One there, one there.
Oh, jeez.
Unfortunate as Jamie is almost there.
3 seconds. 3 seconds, it's so
1
close.
tenth.
Scotsman's got no ERS.
2
Damien
tenths.
3.2.
3 tenths. I think Scotsman may have this unless we can get a.
Out the last chicane.
1 tenth.
3.1, this is going to be close.
2 tenths. Come on.
Can he get it?
P2.
By 2:10, Scotsman's got the win.
It's Daniel comes round.
And could that be a key thing in the championship? I've got to get back to this train. This train is... Jeez. Andy's dropped back in all this. Lincoln finishes 4th. Immortal's going to get 5th, should be.
And he moves. Oh, Link with a penalty.
Unserved drive-through, but Immortal will still finish 5th. And Ted is going to leap up to 6th. Force Manure 7th. Yeah.
Look up all the way down to P8 so far.
And he goes 9th place.
Tim, I believe, will pick up the unfortunate 10th place after that unfortunate collision with Sauce.
Yeah, at least he gets a point though, because of Papa Smurf on that last lap.
It's unfortunate pass off, I'm sure he won't be happy about that. As Tim comes into the last chicane.
Is that a key win for Scotsman in the championship by 2 tenths? Because that could have gone either way, because out of the spoon curve, Jamie looked like he would have got it.
Yeah, it's very close.
Very close.
Jesse will come into next week now and how much is that? About 40 points clear, I believe. 40?
49.
49.
It was 20. It was 20. Hang on. It was 24 going into this. It'll be 49 going into USA. Remember, Jesse has that qualifying ban. So it's in
Scotsman's hands.
It's in Scotsman's hands, yeah. And it is now a 2-horse race between Scotsman and Jesse, who's going to take the title, because Timmer and Daniel and even Teddis didn't score enough to keep in it mathematically.
So Daniel will be able to keep in the little fight, I suppose, for P.
3rd place, yeah, which he's taken a few points off of Teddis on that one.
I'll invite Scotsman, Jamie and Daniel.
Oh, you got that. Thank you. So the winner, Scotsman, by 0.2 of a second. Jamie nearly got it on the last lap. Daniel 3rd place in the AlphaTauri. Still be happy with a podium for him. Lincoln, Dave had a solid race for himself in 4th place. Immortal up to 5th from 9th. Teddis had a pretty good drive from 16th to finish 6th on Ferrari. 7th for Force Manuel. 8th for Locker. 9th for Andy Yuskin. Timmer picks up a point in 10th place, but it's an unfortunate circumstances for Timmer. In 10th, Papa Smurf 11th. Kabuki, Source, Shadow Moses, Haldinho, and Stars Orphan are your finishers.
Box ticked.
Sorry, what did you say?
I'll know what I
didn't catch that.
I have no way to repeat it. I can if you want, but
No.
I don't think they'll be too happy. Unlucky Jamie, mate. I tell you. Aye. It was I thought you were going to get me on that, especially with my 3-second penalty. See, I think, was it from, I don't know. Yeah, I stopped using it because I had left it on by accident at the start. And then I had pretty much 0, so for about 10 laps, I just left it off and just waited until I had about 75% and kept up for defending. That was a good race, though.
We've got all 3 of us here. Have you all ticked the box?
Yep.
Sweet.
Daniel,
so
you
I'll
sound
do
like you're
third.
too far away, mate. It's like, yeah.
I'll do 3rd, you do 2nd, Toxic, and I'll do the winner.
And
Sweet. So 3rd place goes to Daniel P45 in the Alpha Tauri here. Pretty solid race from yourself, Daniel. Obviously the front two seemed a bit too quick, especially Jamie in the first stint. Obviously the safety car didn't seem to help yourself in the strategy with the soft tyres, but you made it work in the second half of the race after it came in. So still picked up a third place. The result does mean you are mathematically out of the championship in terms of the drivers, but in terms of your points for Alpha Tauri, I'm sure you and Timmer are very, very happy with that result. Take us through your race.
What to say? Yeah, it was interesting. I knew didn't really have a chance against Jamie, and if Scotsman could get up to the top, then there was no way. So I'm pretty happy with third. If I'm out of the championship, to be honest, I've long forgotten about that anyway. So yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
If my maths are correct, they're not always right. I believe they are. But yeah, you're still in a very close fight with your own teammate Timmer and Tedist for third place, best of the rest if you like.
Yep.
So, which you've taken a big step in before these last four races of your podium today. You've had a podium this season before, haven't you? I'm sure you have.
Yeah. Two others, I think. Can't remember where now.
I guess the only disappointment is Raikkonen, who obviously is an AlphaTauri driver himself, would be very, very happy with this third. I'm happy you got third. He'll be more happy than me.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm sure he's watching, or we'll watch later.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. As for yourself, obviously you've got 4 races left. I guess the goal is now to end this season on a high, assuming you will be in Tier 5 again, I guess. I don't know, it's not my call. But if you are in F5 again, obviously you could go for a big championship run potentially, because you've grown this season, haven't you? Because I remember you first started this season off on no assist for the first time, if I'm correct.
Yes. Yep.
And you've gradually kind of got quicker since then.
Yep. Definitely. I definitely feeling more comfortable with no assists now, which is good. Made a stupid mistake in quali because of it, but no, I definitely feel much better. Be nice to keep the same car next year as well, because then I've got next season.
Again, not my call on that.
No, I know.
I don't even know whether I'll have control of it. I don't know who will have control of it, but we'll see. But yeah, good luck in these last 4 races, and well done in your third place.
Thank you very much. Congrats to the others too.
Cheers, mate.
Right. Moving on to second place, the Renault of Jamie24. So take away, Toxic.
You're always looking fast throughout the qualifying. And you're back again. Towards the end of the race, you were getting really close. What were you feeling?
I didn't really think I could do it, because every time I couldn't catch him on the straight, so I had no ERS or fuel for the last 6 or 7 laps really. So it was only the last 2 laps, I think, when Scotsman's tyres really, really went off. That's when I had a bit of hope, but it just wasn't to be.
Yeah, isn't Sector 3 you were really close. I thought you were going to get it, but unfortunately.
I think I had like 2 little wobbles through Spoon, and that's what put me back every time.
Yeah, not so good. Are you happy with the result that you got?
Yeah, cool. It's a podium. I feel like maybe I could have done better. I was thinking of going longer on the mediums, 'cause I still had really good pace on it, but I decided to come in just to protect myself from Daniel, because I have like my headphones on for commentary. I could hear you say Daniel's really fast. It's really fast. Alright, I've got to come in.
Next week, I believe it's America, USA.
USA, yeah.
How are you feeling looking towards that?
When I was on a wheel, I liked it, because it's just that first sector on pad. It's horrible. But other than the first sector, it's alright.
Yeah.
Hopefully have a similar pace around it, but
Yeah, well, congrats on your P2, and hopefully we'll see you here next week.
cheers.
Yeah, well done, Jamie. Second place. You were confident you were going to
Well done,
speak to
mate.
us again, and it showed. So
I wouldn't say
well done.
confident. I did say maybe. To be fair, I wasn't.
You said you'll speak to us. That's
I
confidence.
said maybe I'll speak to you.
Yeah. Well done, second place. Moving on to RSF1 Scotsman. The Flying Scotsman has done it again. I have to admit, when you made this stop for hard tyres under the safety car, I thought might be in a little bit of strife. Obviously, nothing against you, because obviously you were in the traffic.
Yep.
You're on the hard tyres, which I knew on Sunday they're not brilliant. But once you get into a rhythm, which you did, they're pretty good, and you seem to manage through that. Got through the battles of Locker, your teammate, and a couple of others in that train there, and got into a position to potentially win the race. You had to fight for it, and that last lap, and I'm pretty sure your principal, Sir Total Wolf, was keeping you managing that gap, and it was very, very close. 2/10 in the end.
Well, it was squeaky bum time, like. Therefore.
Yeah, take us through that last lap.
Well, probably for 5 or 6 laps before it. I think I still had. It was about 5 or 6 laps left. I checked my tyres, and there were 66 on the fronts or something, and like they were just going a little bit red. I was losing a bit, and then I noticed. That's when I noticed that Jamie was starting to pick up the pace. I didn't realise it was Jamie, and then I thought, right, what to do is just try and no rush it through the corners and just try and maybe pick up the speed on the straights. Try and keep my tyres a little bit, and then as we're getting to the last lap, I noticed it was like 3.5, and then he got it to 3.2, and I think it was actually 3.1 at one point, and I still had a bit of ERS, and I had enough fuel to put it up into Rich. I just fired everything up, and then I was just turning everything down, for like to go around the hairpin and go around Spoo, and then at that last bit I actually thought he was going to do it. It all depended on the last chicane, and then as I came out of that and I was going down, I was like, please, 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 please. I noticed I think he had jumped. It was to 3.2 seconds or something, so I beat him by what, 2/10?
Yeah, it was 3052 on the timing pages out of Spoon.
Was it?
So yeah, it was close.
It was damn
close,
man. Yeah. As I say, if I hadn't got a silly 3-second penalty, I would have felt obviously a lot better. But to be fair, I've practiced probably about 10 hours this week just for this track, because it's not one of my best ones. So I practiced and I actually quite like it now.
Yeah, it's funny when you put so many hours into it, you actually end up liking the track. But 2/10 in the end, and 2/10 for a win, that could potentially be very key in your Drivers' Championship aspirations. Obviously, with the result from tonight, obviously Daniel is now out of it, as with Tedist and Timmer. Mathematically, it's now you or Jesse will now take it. And obviously, unfortunately, Jesse wasn't here to battle it, but you took the opportunity to extend the gap. 49 points it now is. Obviously, depending, of course. But 49 points, 4 races to go. Mathematics permutation is going to come into it. Probably don't think you can win it USA no matter what, but you could win it in Mexico. I don't know whether you've been in this situation before, leading the championship. Obviously, you're going to get a lot of advice and encouragement from Toto and anybody else in the Alpha team, but it's all on you. It's all on you now.
Mate,
you've got an opportunity.
See, to be honest, I don't change, mate. If I see a gap, I go for it. Apart from when I was behind Locker and stuff earlier, I waited on them making a mistake, or I was waiting on DRS. I wasn't doing anything stupid because I knew any points tonight was vital because Jesse wasn't here. So I had that in mind. But I also had in mind the further up, the easier it's going to be later on in the season. So it's what was with that five grid penalty? I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that. Obviously, I didn't catch it because I just saw a cluster of cars and I thought you were just letting each other through, and then I looked at it and then saw debris everywhere, and then obviously saw the penalty you had.
I think there was 2 cars spun off, and I came round and I spun off as well. And then as my car was reversing like back along the track, and I could hear a car coming, but I thought to myself, right, I don't want to just stop and be in the middle because I was slap bang in the middle of the track. I thought I'll try and let my car reverse. I wasn't in reverse, I was still sort of feel like a passenger at this point. But I didn't want to put the brake on in case I stopped slap bang in the middle of the track. And I know, was it a Haas clipped into me? But I never came up saying anything about a grid penalty.
I think it was Moses.
It was total message, and he says, "What happened?" I was like, "Oh, I thought he was talking about my rubbish time in Q2." I says, "Oh, I just done one lap and just retired." He's like, "No, the grid penalty." That's when I looked. I was like, "What?" I knew I had it against me the night, and I actually thought I would have got somebody damaged or spun off or something at some point. Because through all the practice that I've been doing, there has been some sort of spin off or something, and that's the first time I've probably went round the full time without spinning.
Anyway, heading into USA next. It's USA next,
Yeah.
not Mexico.
Yep.
From what the calendar said, it is Mexico next. What's your thoughts on that track? It's a very racy track, if that's the meaning of the word I'm going to use. Battling's going to be very aplenty. Overtaking is very, very possible. It normally produces a good race. Are you expecting the pressure of F5 once again?
Yeah, I definitely. There's people there that are definitely they can beat me. No doubt about it. So I just take every race as it comes. And USA, I like USA. I sort of feel like Jamie was saying, you get that first sector, the S's, you sort of forget that. The rest is a great track. So it's a good track that I like, and if Raikkonen's listening, he'll have the pleasure of remembering me that he overtook me because of a penalty and took my very first podium off me. So I'm looking forward to. I've never had a podium in USA, so I'm looking forward to one next week.
All right, as we will as well. Yeah, well done on your victory.
Thanks.
As I said, 49 points, 4 races to go. And we will see what happens in those last 4. Is it going to be the Flying Scotsman, or is it going to be Jesse Racer? We shall see. But for now,
Vote Scotsman.
congrats on your vote.
Vote Scotsman.
All right. Steady on. You haven't won yet. Obviously, from a neutral point of view, I want it to go to Abu Dhabi, but we'll see what happens. But well done on your win.
Thanks.
Enjoy it.
Cheers.
Well, Toxic, that was a very interesting F5 race, wasn't it?
A lot of close calls, many heart attacks throughout the whole race, but it was
Yeah,
a
many heart attacks.
very good race. And most, and hopefully we'll get the same next week.
Yes, where Raikkonen, I believe, is scheduled to come back in F5 next week, and he'll do the proper introduction that he does to start the race. I did my best with it. Again, my voice was pained for about a minute afterwards, so I don't know how he does it, but I'll try my best with it. Hopefully he will take that as an honour to him, but he'll be back next week. As for Japan this week, we have 2 more races left. We have the F1 boys next. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, Monster Skyline and Blazer Guns will take you through the action of that, where RSF1 Eastern is on course at the moment to win the F1 Championship. I don't think he can win it in Japan, but still, you've got the likes of Lando and Corey Marshall and Midzi still behind him, still eager to catch him. And then you've got the F4 race to finish up the week. New championship leader, Duffalump in the Racing Point, is keen to keep that championship lead, but RS Prost, who lost it at the end of Russia, can he take it back? I'm sure he'll be keen to take it back. Let's see what happens on that Thursday, 8 o'clock with myself and Brutal Reapers. But for today, your podium today, at the end of that race, was Daniel P45 in the AlphaTauri, second Jamie 24 in the Renault, first the Flying Scotsman, RSF1 Scotsman in the Alfa Romeo, taking the victory by 0.2 of a second in the end in the last lap. But that has been the F5 Grand Prix. Once again, keep safe. Obviously we know what happens tomorrow in real life, but still keep safe. We're nearly at the end of it, fingers crossed. And take care. We'll see you next time.